Hey guys, and welcome back to the Restaurant and Bar Marketing Podcast. This is Erik from Los Angeles, California. So this is going to be kind of a reveal of how AI searches are going to be handled in the future and how hungry customers are going to search for a restaurant real quickly once they start using AI more and more, as opposed to a normal restaurants near me Google search, which is going to be kind of a thing of the past. So it's going to basically go from a keyword based search into a conversational question like you'd ask a human. So instead of, think of it as you're talking to a human, you're talking to an AI computer. So you wouldn't go ask out to a person and say, hey, restaurants near me. It just doesn't really make any sense. But that's how these AI computers are going to respond and act just like humans. So this is a question I pulled up in ChatGPT, basically asking ChatGPT how ChatGPT will show people restaurant options. And so this has already begun, by the way. This isn't brand new, but this is out there and it's becoming more and more relevant. And the statistic is by 2026, Google's going to lose about 25% of its overall search volume to AI searches, much like this. So in the future, AI-powered searches for restaurants will become more conversational, personalized, context-aware, fundamentally changing how people discover dining options. Okay, so think of these in terms like this. So conversational queries. Instead of restaurants near me, where can I find a dog-friendly brunch spot with outdoor seating nearby? So really, we've got keywords in there. So it does include that stuff, but it's a little bit more robust than that. So we've got dog-friendly, brunch, outdoor seating close to me. I guess the lesson comes into, are we feeding the correct information to these AI computers? Are we giving them the information it needs to put us in the running to answer that question, us come out on the top? Instead of a customer doing a restaurant near me, and if you're in a big city, you've got thousands of options, and everywhere from, okay, now we got to narrow it down by what kind of food or how close to us do we want to be? Do we want it to be Uber distance, walking distance? And you got to figure it out from there and kind of stumble through it. It takes a while to find a place to eat. This is going to cut that way, way down. So once you give it the criteria and feed it in all the things you're interested in, it's going to give you a couple of options, 1, 2, 3 sort of responses. So getting into that top 3 of this is going to be crucial. It's going to be the biggest thing that we've got to accomplish in search history, in my opinion. Another one, what's a good Italian restaurant within walking distance that's open now? That's something within walking distance. Is obviously, if you're not within walking distance, you're never going to show up on that search, which is totally fine. It's doing the right thing. It's not showing you because you're not a viable option if you're not within walking distance. Personal recommendations, it'll figure out what you've searched for in the past. And it'll say, and now this is going to be something interesting. Not only if you ask it something, it'll say, oh, and if you say, give an open-ended question like, show me a restaurant near me that has an open patio with a great outdoor dining. Then it'll say, well, in the past, you've searched for steakhouses and sushi. Would you like me to show you those? Or it goes one step further. And this is kind of suggestive. It'll prompt you if you're in a new area. Like, hey, you asked for steakhouses and sushi in the past. Would you like me to look for one of those for you now? It's lunchtime. So this is something that ChatGPT is going to start prompting customers without us having to do the search. It's going to do it for us and say, hey, do you want to eat right now? Again, very, very crucial that we are in that list of options. Voice command system, Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, of course, are going to be the big thing. A lot of this is going to be voice command driven, not necessarily typed in. So with ChatGPT, you hit the voice command, hey, ChatGPT, where can I find a dog-friendly brunch spot with outdoor seating nearby? And go that way instead of typing restaurants near me into your phone. That's going to be the majority of how it's going to be. This talks about business websites, review platforms like Yelp and TripAdvisor, social media mentions, local directories. This is where it's pulling all that information from. AI does not like to take one platform's word for it. So they're going to, if they go on so let's use this example of outdoor seating nearby, brunch spot, dog friendly. All 3 of those are Google attribute questions, meaning the yes or no attributes, which are about 60 of them, that if you go in your Google business profile, there's that big list of basically what you offer. And it's all over the place answering things like this. Even if you did answer that doesn't mean you're going to be on the list of results. It doesn't like to take just one platform's word. So a lot of times Google attributes are wrong, and they're usually wrong because us as operators, us as business owners didn't do it right. And so when new attribute questions come out, they're going to be unanswered. They recently had this year, there is parking questions. So there's 6 new parking questions of, is it free? Is it paid? You have a garage? Is it valet? Is it street parking? And if you don't answer this stuff, it's going to show up as unanswered. Very, very crucial. We go back and check into our Google attribute questions all the time. And if there's new ones, it's not going to tell you. You just have to look and then answer those. Because a lot of times, especially in big cities like LA, parking is a big deal. And people do make their dining decision based on how easy it is to park sometimes. If it's a nice place and there's a valet right there, bam. If it's a cheaper place, there's no parking to be had at all. You got to park 6 blocks away and walk. And that's probably not going to work. Where we put this additional information is, of course, in all of our directories. So a directory, like their example of Yelp and TripAdvisor, absolutely fill out all the attribute questions. In Yelp too, they have a whole bunch like Google, not as many, but they have very, very similar ones. TripAdvisor has them too. But if you do any sort of off-page SEO, that if you can aggregate that, meaning if you have, that's what Bar Marketing Basics does. That's one of the services we offer. But if you have a service like that does that, we fill a profile out for you, answer all those questions once in your profile, it'll duplicate that answer across all those ancillary directories. So you don't have to do it a million times. Or more importantly, you'll have to find where those are, which you're guessing. So it's a kind of tough to do manually. I don't suggest it. Another really, really good source of information is obviously your website. That's a very trusted source. It's something that we're spoon feeding to these AI computers, saying, yeah, this is what we offer. This is what we don't offer, in the form of either more content on the homepage. Restaurants are very, very famous for having little to no copy on the home page. Because let's be honest, it's not attractive. So people eat with their eyes. They see pictures. They know exactly what you offer. They know exactly what kind of place it is, what kind of food you offer. They get it. But that doesn't really feed into an AI computer. They can't see yet. And so what they're going to do is crawl that copy and figure out what you offer. And so when we tell them, we give them paragraphs of text that are written in a very precise way, like an SEO language and formatting, telling them, here's exactly what we offer. We're the best Italian place in this city, right by these cross streets, by this monument, by this bridge, where we specialize in not only pizza, but pasta and special Italian dishes, gelato, the whole thing. We have all those words in there in a conversational paragraph format. The other one is that I think every website needs to have this. This is going to be a big deal. Have an FAQ page. So not only can we take the Google attribute questions, dump them in a ChatGPT and say, hey, rewrite these in a question and answer format that sounds conversational or that sounds organic. And it will. It's very good at it. So it'll take it'll say valet parking, yes or no, and you click the yes button, and then the next one you click the no button. It'll rewrite all that stuff to make it sound like it's made from a human. Take all that stuff, dump it into there, put it in an FAQ page, and then, of course, any other frequently asked questions you can think of, and think about it from a perspective of a hungry consumer that's typing in something like that. I want to see this, and this in a restaurant by me. Go through everything you offer. Anything no matter how minute it sounds, put all that stuff in there. So we're feeding these computers the most information we could possibly feed them. It has to be consistent as well. These AI computers have to really trust the source before it puts that answer in front of a customer. So the more times that question is answered in the same exact way, the more trustworthy that answer becomes, the more relevant your business becomes, and it's going to be shown at the top of a search like that. Other thing to think of is a lot of people are going to start using the word best. Show me a place with the best pizza in West Hollywood, California, within walking distance. So the word best really describes something that's 4 stars on Google and above. So your overall star rating has to be 4 stars or above, even be in the running for that word best. So if you have 3.9, it's never going to happen. So don't really worry about your Yelp. Yeah, your Yelp star rating and comments are very important. Don't get me wrong. Don't ever pay Yelp, because I've never seen that make any difference in the amount of people walking in your door. Respond to reviews, just like I've always said, on every platform, especially the big 3, Google, Yelp, and TripAdvisor. Respond to every single one of those, not only because it's nice for people to see that we do care and we're taking an interest in what they're saying, and we're thanking our fans, inviting them back in. That's the majority of it. We're putting out the fires. We're admitting, yeah, maybe we dropped the ball here when that's appropriate, and going through those things and doing it in a timely manner. These algorithms want to see those reviews responded to within 24 hours. So it's not just a matter of I'll get to it when I get to it. It's got to be done in a timely manner. That's another thing that Bar Marketing Basics does, but enough about that. So all this stuff together is really, really going to help your visibility in AI searches going forward. And just keep that whole concept in mind of keywords in a search are going away. Sentences are going to be the next thing. Yes, we can populate our websites and all of our online stuff with keywords, but we should also use that stuff in conversational tones on the websites. All right, hope this helps.